Welcome to an introductory to Enter the Backrooms. Hello everyone, my name is Glow, and today I've decided to cover the game about Enter the Backrooms, as some of you asked for a little explanation. So here it is. Now, what is Enter the Backrooms? Enter the Backrooms is a survival horror game where you explore different levels and attempt to discover the unknown of the backrooms while fending off your inevitable fall to insanity, meeting many entities that may accompany your journey, and fight off the reactions of each level towards your being visiting them. Now, the description of the Steam page does mention the game could suit anybody looking for a creepy psychological horror game, but if you were to look for a good looking game, then I doubt you'd want to try this game. It is important to note that the game also bases itself on the fictional writing of the Backrooms databases, in which some aspects of the games, notably levels, might just base themselves around that, but the creator of the game also came up with his own concepts, so it might not be only a one-to-one recreation of the backrooms, but also a part of his freestyle thinking around the games. Now, beyond this point, if you haven't tried the game for yourself or have barely started, everything I'll now regard may contain spoilers from this point onwards. I may also regard mechanics that you may have not seen before. Starting off with the game mechanics, you may see that you have only one green bar, which in this case is your stamina bar, but in reality you have 3 bars. By pressing G, you may see these 3 bars, which respectively represent your stamina bar, your health bar, and your sanity bar. Pretty self-explanatory. Your stamina bar is how long you can endure running before you have to stand still and regenerate it. Your health bar will give you a game over screen upon hitting 0 HP and send you to your last saved place, while also refilling all of your bars back to 100%. Do note, coming in contact with certain entities may reduce your health. And finally, your sanity bar. Having low sanity may grant you a few pros and a lot of cons. A good thing to note is that levels and entities may also affect your sanity, so always keep good attention about that. Your sanity is kind of a mechanic where you must constantly be careful about, as the lower your sanity is, the more things may affect you, such as your FOV increasing, chances of hallucinations appearing, constant jump scares after reaching a certain level of low sanity may increase enemy spawns, but also increases your movement speed, which can be viable if your maximum health is high enough to go through levels faster. There are multiple ways to bring your sanity back to normal, but your main way of dealing with that is pressing space to meditate, which will make you stand in place to regenerate as much as possible until you either press space again, or regenerate your sanity back to its maximum. Another important mechanic will be your flashlight, which you can bring out by pressing F. This obviously will help you to navigate through dark rooms, but also dealing with certain entities, while attracting that one moth that I hate. You may also press crouch to hide under tables, which will effectively stop entities from chasing after you. Also, crouching is good to avoid that damn moth. This game also has a unique way of saving, which is by interacting with chairs, but you may also be able to save when you find an exit or find a rift, which I will later on talk about. Now, on the subject of items, you may have already noticed how you have a hotbar on the top of your screen. Simply put, you may find boxes throughout the levels, which can give you a loot pool of items such as almond water to heal your injuries by 30%. Bugs that restores your sanity back to 100%, sugar that restores your stamina back to 100%, or batteries that refills your flashlight's battery back to 100%. Now you may also see an empty yellow space. This is basically your special item slot. You may find special items that have their own unique effect and may help you in specific scenarios, or in general. A few to name will be the soul armor, which grants you a full protection against an entity's damage effect, a wearing map that would, for a certain duration, show you surroundings of the map, or the cursed die, which can roll into 6 effects, either good or bad. You heard me, guys, we got gambling in the back rooms. Speaking of gambling, you have a chance to get a party goop. Along with all these items, you may encounter getting artifacts, which from level 0 artifacts all the way to level 8 artifacts have their own unique way of interacting with your stats. Starting from level 0 with a boost to your overall stamina, level 1 that grants you more maximum battery, or even my personal favorite when it comes to grinding artifacts and keys. Level 5 artifacts that grant you more boxes spawning. These artifacts of course stack infinitely, but it's not because you have 20 level 2 artifacts, which each reduces enemies by -5%, means you're good all game. I learned it the hard way, of course. You may also find these golden boxes which guarantees you an artifact at the cost of getting a random one you cannot control at all. Which means even though beyond level 8 you will not be able to get more unique artifacts, there is still a way to grind artifacts through opening golden boxes. Now when you will start a game, you will end up in level 0 of course, also called lobby. Take it as your tutorial to your easiest way to get a lot of boxes to stock up before getting into later levels. Now in this game you will have what you call sub-levels, which I personally call level regions, as they appear through the level generation. These sub-levels of course come with their own ways of going through the level, as it can be a more open area, a storage room with more boxes, or even different decor. It's all up to you to find them all if you really want to explore new things. And do note they may have just a slight difference, so they might not be obvious at first. The next levels I'll be talking about are both level 1 and level 2, as they clearly cover what makes each level special. To put it simply, you may find map events which are effects or changes brought upon you or the level that may affect you either for the best or for the worst. Examples of this would be the lights turning off in level 1, or what I like to call the amalgamate of smilers at level 2. Now of course to access these different levels you'll have to find exits which generates after walking in a direction for long enough. You may also find rifts which, to explain simply, can also bring you down one level, which is really nice to have around when you consider that finding an exit in this game might bring you to an unexpected level. Going down a level may also help you in multiple ways, mainly grabbing more items or farming artifacts. On the side of entities, you may also find good or bad ones. A common enemy you will find quite easily in this game are duelers, which are best described as dark individuals that can clip through walls and get to you while stopping at nothing. There are actually ways to counter them, such as flashing your lights at them or looking at them directly. If you were to be overwhelmed by duelers, you could of course get under a table, which would effectively make every duelers go in the opposite direction towards you. An example of a good entity will be facelings, in which their most common trades will be books, or at least their most effective one, as they may offer lots of good like golden artifacts and even keys, in which I will talk about keys later on. On the subject of sanity, we'll of course have insanities, which on contact will of course take all of your sanity. And if you believe that wasn't even bad enough, partygoers are weeping angels like entities that on contact not only deals a lot of damage but also takes your entire sanity bar with it. The last entity I'll be covering are death mods, which simply put are attracted by your flashlight, so they have a chance to spawn in about every second you have your flashlight on. Even for a fraction, of course. The way to deal with one is once you hear the audio cue of them coming your way, all you will need to do to avoid them is simply crouch. Of course, I won't be covering everything in this video, as if you're really interested in the game, you can explore the game for yourself. Now that would have been the end of the video if it weren't for New Game Plus. Don't get it wrong, as you will simply need to load your save slot to continue. So please don't destroy your save slot just because I called it New Game Plus. You will basically unlock that by beating level 8, which will then bring some exits from the previous levels into the later levels, most commonly brought to level 11. You also unlock the ability to go to the hub, which is a place where you can go to any level under one condition: having a key to that level, in which you now unlock the ability to get keys with a chance on each box you will open. Getting a key will then unlock a permanent, easy access to the level at any given time by simply going to the hub. You of course automatically save the game, so don't worry about losing hours of searching for a single cursed key. Do know that going to levels beyond level 8 will now release a new entity called the Sentient Rifts, which on contact will send you back down one level and save your game there. So tough luck if you finally escaped one hellish level just to be sent directly back there. One last thing you'd unlock is rifts at level 0. Getting a rift at level 0 was impossible until you would then unlock New Game Plus. Using a rift at level 0 will then bring you to the negative levels. I'll just give you a big heads up as these levels may include a lot of flashing lights. You'll also gain a new game mechanic called stability, which simply put will bring you back at level 0 if it were to ever hit 0%. The only way to increase your max stability, which is how long you can last in the negative levels, is by getting more artifacts. New entities can also be found there, such as corruptors, which reduce your stability by 10%, while also meeting menders, who on the contrary increases your stability by 10%. Also note that you cannot get stability beyond 100%, and the stability you will get from artifacts only increase the amount of time you can spend in the negative levels, not remove the cap of the 100% stability you begin with. And that will be about everything I have to say. Of course, once again, it is up to you to explore everything, as I did not mention everything in the game. I would recommend giving this game at least a shot at it, besides its old school graphics, as it definitely can represent interesting stuff. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next video.
Salut peut m'aider de ce... Oh mon dieu, il me voit. Est-ce qu'il me voit? Non.